How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Next Gen Gaming. Today we're doing a special episode. Even though you may see the tier list, we're not necessarily ranking all the games for Game of the Year. And I do have a guest with me today, Alex Nicolaou, host of HawkSense, and I just did a most recent video with him on Spider-Man 2 particularly. So I know he's going to have a lot to say about some categories here in Game of the Year. Alex, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Alex, host of HawkSense, president of Red Hawk Media.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I've played a lot of these games. This game of the year, definitely played a lot of them. So I'm very excited to rank these with Matt here because he's the expert.
Yeah, I have played. Alex says he's played a lot of them. I think I've played almost all of them. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 in here that I haven't quite touched yet, and I make it
going to be
yeah.
brutally honest. I've only played Spider-Man. And I mean Fortnite too.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm talking about the games that are up for like Game of the Year and like higher. But yeah. Haven't played much of them, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, there is a section down here that I made specifically for you called DNP, which is did not play. So I have a feeling that Alex is going to be putting a lot of stuff in that one, and I might be putting some stuff, B, C, or D. There's
you're the expert, so make it your list. Don't make it my list.
Well, yeah, but I'm gonna
put
some input in there for you as well, because obviously there's some that you didn't play. But let's get right into it. Right. So I am gonna clarify right now. I am skipping all the esports stuff for not only for me but for Alex too. I did vote on it. If you guys want to see my votes, absolutely, I'll give that to you. But for me personally, Game of the Year is the Game Awards is not necessarily about esports, Creator of the Year, content, all that. It's more geared toward games and the development of the games because I think me and Alex can both appreciate what goes into the development for the people and the teams that create the games, and not necessarily who plays the games the best. I think that's a universal thing that should be adapted, but it's still touched upon in the Game Awards, so we can appreciate that. All right, let's start for most anticipated, which is something that I am actually very interested in because we're going to start with Tekken 8. So for anybody that doesn't know, and maybe Alex doesn't know, Tekken 8 is more of a fighting style one-on-one game. So Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 6. Alex, how excited are you for that one?
So Tekken, I haven't played any Tekken games. Heard of them, definitely seen them. It's definitely high on my list for most anticipated because that's the only one, except for maybe another, which I recognize. So it's pretty high on my list, but you do what you want with it.
So for me personally, this is a D for me because we just had Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6 come out. I really don't care about another fighting game coming out next year.
I'm not very good at fighting games.
Yeah,
I think we know this.
That's the same thing with me. The only one I was ever good at was Injustice 2.
I wasn't even good on Injustice 2, and when I went to replay it and go online and replay it, it's literally unplayable because everybody else is just so much better than you.
Right. Absolutely.
I don't know how Tekken works. I know there's a huge following for it, so maybe they go harder. So
yeah. Well, this other one
okay with me.
that I'm excited for is Star Wars Outlaw. So Alex, you know anything about Star Wars Outlaw?
I know it is a game coming out next year.
So Star Wars Outlaw, it's gonna be a Destiny style type of Star Wars game where it's gonna be a live service game and it's gonna be online multiplayer, and from what we've seen,
you get to create your own character?
And it's more bounty hunter geared. Cool. So you're gonna pick like a bounty hunter and you're gonna have to play through some things. So more Destiny style. For me, this is a B tier for me. Purely because I like the concept of the game. This is a game that we've been talking about in the Star Wars community for a while. But I also know when I hear a Destiny-style game come out of their mouths, I get so nervous because I know Destiny is so bad.
I hated Destiny.
Yes.
And all my friends were like, bro, you got to go play Destiny. You got to get Destiny. And when I got it, I hated it. I hated it. I hate how other people could just join in on your raid or mission or whatever and then ruin it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. I agree with you. And one of my big things about it is Bungie just sometimes suck the fun out of everything, and everything costs money. Everything in that game costs money.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's just so disappointing because if everything didn't cost money, I feel like everybody would enjoy it more, but nobody wants to spend money on that. Um,
I agree.
Next we have Like a Dragon, which is a Yakuza game. So it's PlayStation geared. Alex, did you ever play any of the Yakuza games?
I've never heard that word until today. So you do what you want with this one.
It's more of a
I'm just here for
story.
the
It's a story-driven game.
yeah.
Personally, for me, again, D tier. I've never liked them. I understand the hype, but I've just never liked them. Alex, you ever heard of Hades?
I have heard of Hades.
Have you seen
Um,
gameplay of it?
I have not. I've
Okay.
played the first one. I have not seen anything. I've heard of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Hades is a little more like Diablo, but it's a little more cartoonish. For
Okay.
me, I played the first Hades probably still to this day. Like I love it. I love the game. This is an A tier.
Okay.
I'm so excited for this one. For like this one for most anticipated. This is my most anticipated game. This is what I think will win.
Really?
Yes,
Over the Star Wars game.
over the
That's kind
Star
of
Wars game.
surprising there, Matt.
Yes, I
But
think Hades will
I'm
win.
excited for you. I'm excited for you. A for me too.
Oh
I'll
wow,
agree.
you're so nice. For this one, Final Fantasy. Yeah, I'm just gonna put D on this one. I don't even want to talk about Final Fantasy. I've never
Okay.
liked the
You
Final
have
Fantasy.
beef with
I
the Final
never,
Fantasy?
I've never liked Final Fantasy. Never have.
See, I've never played it. That's the difference between me and you. Have you played it?
I have. I've played. I think it was Final Fantasy. This is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I think I played Final Fantasy VI on Xbox 360. Just never liked it. Never got into it. I understood the
I never
hype,
got into
but
it. I don't have any hate towards them.
no, I never got it. I never liked it. Nothing. So most anticipated out of this list on here, what are you picking?
You know what? That Star Wars game,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of enticing because I haven't seen a lot of Star Wars. But what I have seen was, episodes of like the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian, and that's more bounty hunter style, like space cowboy vibe, and that's what I think you can get out of the Star Wars Outlaws game. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Star Wars Outlaws.
That's a good pick. We haven't had a Star Wars game in a couple years now. I mean, I think the last one we had was Star Wars Squadrons, and it was absolutely
Well, Jedi
just
Survivor 2 that
ter-
came out this year.
yeah. But we'll get to that one later. We're gonna get to that
Okay.
one later.
Okay. Okay.
I'm talking more as like multiplayer kind of like this one's more
Yeah,
geared
yeah, yeah.
towards
No, I
multiplayer.
understand.
So
Yeah.
next we're gonna go to best adaptation. Now I didn't put any of the other best adaptions on here because it's a little hard to put the logos for the best adaptions on here.
Okay.
However, and I feel a little biased towards this one because one of the adaptions is The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody that
I
doesn't
see
know out
that.
there, The Last of Us is probably my favorite game of all time. I have a
Yeah.
tattoo. I bought the collector's edition when the first game came out. I
You
absolutely
could stop at tattoo. That's
yeah.
wild.
I
I don't even have
I'm
a Spider-Man 2 yet, Matt.
I am in love with the game. So this for me is best adaptation. I don't see anything else winning. The other ones up there are Super Mario, which is probably my second, Twisted Metal with Anthony Mackie, and then Gran
All right.
Turismo.
So I like Mario.
Mhm.
Um, I think I'm going to have to pick Mario because I didn't finish um The
Sure.
Last of Us.
Sure. Understandable.
I thought it was great. I haven't seen Gran Turismo, haven't seen Twisted Metal, haven't seen Castlevania. But I did enjoy the Marvel movie, the Mario movie on my birthday, which was nice. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna pick the Mario movie, but I'm gonna let you pick The Last of Us because that's your thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. 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 So, next one that I'm going to talk about is best multiplayer. So we're starting with Mario Wonder, which is actually up for one of the game of the year. Um, Anybody that knows and
Okay.
follows me for a little bit knows I do not like Nintendo, but I like the Mario games. So best multiplayer,
How can
I
you not?
I'm gonna put this at a C tier because I don't feel like it's a really good
Okay.
multiplayer game, but it's a good
All
game.
right.
Alex, opinion on that one?
See, I actually got super excited when I seen the trailer for Super Mario Wonder because I loved the 2DS game
Mm-hmm.
or the DS game, the new Super Mario Bros. I loved that game. I beat it. I had such a good time with it. I played all the rest of the Mario games on the DS, and another scroll Mario game would be fantastic. And they gave it to us, but I don't. I have a Switch Lite, but I don't have like an actual Nintendo Switch.
Sure.
So, um, I was excited, but I never got around to playing it. But I'm gonna have to pick that one because it actually piqued my interest.
Really, you're gonna go with
Yeah.
that one?
I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay. Okay, a little interesting. Street Fighter 6, what do you think?
Um, See, I was a big Street Fighter 4 guy,
Okay.
and once I heard that in Street Fighter 6, my boy Guy, my favorite player in Street Fighter 4, wasn't going to be in the game, I was hurt. So, Street Fighter 6, no,
Okay.
not for me.
I,
Also, not a big fan of fighting games. Never been good at them.
I'm gonna
Wasn't
put
even
this
good at
one.
Street Fighter
Yeah,
4.
I agree. I'm gonna put this one at D tier purely
Okay.
because there's other things in this category that I really, really enjoy.
Okay.
Going straight into Party Animals, dude. This is a game that I've been wanting to play with my friends, Alex included, for so long. It's like a Gang
Yep.
Beasts style game, but you play with animals and there's guns. And
Okay.
it's
I'm in.
it's so much fun. I've seen gameplay of it. I've seen plenty of YouTubers play it. This is an A tier. Like for me, this is
Okay.
one of my favorite games right now in terms of multiplayer in this category.
I'll trust you. It looks
Mhm.
fun. I've seen some
Yeah.
gameplay. Definitely looks fun.
Mhm.
Is it on console?
I don't think so. I think that's what's holding us back. Some
Gang
people
Beast is on console.
Gang Beasts is on console, but Party
Yeah.
Animals is not as of right now. I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
have to
Makes
double check
sense.
because it's been a little bit. But
Yeah.
going into next game, Diablo 4, dude, again, A tier, love the game. I don't know what it is. I've always liked these like Diablo Hades style games. Our friend Ethan plays this still to this day. I played this with my dad on couch co-op. Do you know the last time I played a game with my dad on couch co-op? Years.
Was it Fat Princess?
It was A Way Out probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was probably A Way Out. Fat Princess is a great game, and I would love to do a video on Fat Princess, low key. I don't know what it is. I would love to. That is like, dude, like I love Fat Princess. We're also from Diablo 4, Baldur's Gate. Now,
Boo.
Baldur's Gate is so I'm not gonna put it up there because I want to save Baldur's Gate, and I'm actually gonna take Mario off because I want to save Mario and Baldur's Gate for our Game of the Year thing. There is like so much that happens with Baldur's Gate that I it's hard for me to talk about it as a multiplayer game, but I'm gonna try. For me personally, I give it a B tier. It's a fun multiplayer game, but I think there's more aspects to the game that make it fun without like you don't need the multiplayer in it to have fun. And with these other games, I feel like it's more of a core kind of thing, minus Mario. Mario's not really I don't think of that one as a more geared to a multiplayer. Alex, give us your opinion on the multiplayer aspect of Baldur's Gate.
See, I didn't play Baldur's Gate, and I have no desire to.
Yeah.
But it just looks
understand.
like bigger nerds than me.
Mhm.
You guys are losers, bro. You guys are losers. Spider-Man 2 is gonna blow you out the water.
Okay, we're jumping ahead. Okay. So this
Yeah, we
one
are.
this one best sports and racing games. Now, Alex, you don't
Hot
play
Wheels Unleashed 2.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say you don't play anything.
Let's be for real.
Alex does not play any type of sports games. None. Absolutely none.
I haven't shared this. You know the last time I played a sports game was?
When?
NBA 2K10.
Oh my
Do you
goodness.
know why that was the last sports game I ever played?
Why?
Because I had to teach my dad the controls, and he still beat me. I am absolutely dog water
Yeah.
at any kind of sports game. I just never attempted after that.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. For me personally, like I played a lot of sports games, and I still kind of do, but I've kind of geared more towards away from them as they've kind of gotten worse and worse. So I don't like the fact that when best sports and racing, there's 4 racing games and 1 sports game.
Yeah.
The 1 sports game is EA FC 24. Now I'm putting this at a C tier, and Alex, you probably don't have much of an opinion on this one, but the game is just absolutely not great at all. I've heard a lot of people complain about it, and they they don't call it FIFA anymore. They call it FC 20, whatever. And I've heard a lot of people complain. I'm gonna go into F1 23. So F1 is exactly, it's Formula One racing. Our buddy Caleb actually plays this religiously.
Really?
And, yeah, he plays it a lot. I'm gonna give it a C tier again because again, it's a racing game that I'm not really that into, and it's is it gonna win? Probably, but it's not like my pick to win. Um,
Yeah.
we're also gonna have the Crew Motorfest. I'm gonna give this one a D tier. This one was terrible. Just absolutely.
Um.
Go
So
ahead. Did you play
I've
this?
actually played the Crew before.
Oh, okay.
I've played the Crew before. I haven't played any other ones.
Sure.
Um. It sucks.
It's not.
It's like a
Yeah.
it's like this like in Spider-Man 1 the game like for
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the PlayStation 1 like the movie tie-in game
Mm-hmm.
where you couldn't go on the city streets.
Okay.
You can't get out of your car in these games.
Yeah.
Like it's like GTA is 10 times better.
Oh
Just
my.
play that.
Oh my goodness, Alex. That is a. Oh my God. That's a weird comparison.
I think it's a great comparison. You race cars in both.
Okay. So we're okay. I'm gonna go straight into the one I think I want to win, which is honestly Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels
gonna give it-
Unleashed 2,
I am
baby.
gonna give it a B
This
tier.
game deserves Game of the Year.
Okay, you're
Right?
delusional.
This is the greatest game I've ever played in my life.
I'm gonna clip
I had
that.
such a great time with this.
I am absolutely going to clip that, and that is 100% going to be put on all platforms, so we know that what Alex really thinks of Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Now we truly know
Yeah.
what he
Sorry,
thinks.
guys. Behind
Yeah.
all these Funko Pops are walls of Hot Wheels.
Dude, can you imagine? Last one is Forza Motorsport. Again, I think this is a B tier game. I think Forza is always consistently releasing good games, but it's just not Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels was fun. I enjoyed Hot Wheels. I played that one.
I haven't played Forza since I ditched Xbox, so I have no feelings towards it.
Oh,
I just know
really?
Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 should win Game of the Year.
Oh my, you're so weird.
Actually, no, there's one coming up that I want Game of the Year.
Yeah, I wonder what it is. Going into best sim and strategy. So we're gonna
Pikmin 4 was
Yeah.
a fantastic choice for this one.
Yeah, you liked Pikmin 4? Did you like Pikmin 4?
I haven't played any of these games, Matt.
Oh my
We made this
goodness.
clear.
Oh my goodness. Pikmin
You
4
didn't
was
play it either?
No, I actually did. Pikmin 4 was a lot of fun. But it's not I don't think it's my like pick for this. We also have
Yeah.
Advanced Wars 1 and 2. I did not.
I don't
I'm
know
gonna be
what
honest.
that
I didn't play
is.
this one. This is one of the few I did not play.
don't
Fire
know.
Emblem Engage. I guess it'd be a C tier. I don't really know how I quite feel about it yet, and I probably won't pick it up. So it's kind of like hovering between D and C for me, and it's just one of those like, it's. I played it and I was like forcing myself to play it, and I feel like I should not have to do that with the game. You know. I feel like that's just
I agree.
I shouldn't have to force myself to play it.
I agree.
So then we have Company Heroes 3. And I do enjoy this game. I'm going to give this one a B tier. It's a nice, little simulation strategy war game. There's another one that's kind of tickled my feather, and Alex knows it a lot, that I play, which is not on here. I was a little disappointed on, but it's going to pick up.
Which one was that?
Foxhole.
Oh, Foxhole, yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not new, is it?
It's not new, but it's going to pick up again. It's going to pick up.
If it picks up again, why? I mean, it's
It
not.
could win. It could win best ongoing. Hopefully, I'm delusional.
Okay.
But
Okay.
no, my pick for this one, A tier, City Skylines 2. I love the City Skylines games. I love them.
Haven't had the pleasure of playing them,
Yeah,
but
I
I'll
love
take
'em.
your word for it.
It's kind of like I guess. Did you ever play Prison Architect?
No.
No. Did you ever play like Zoo Tycoon?
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like that, but on
Those were
a larger scale. It's
like
on a
actual,
larger.
like cities and stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So we're gonna go into best family. I'm just gonna jump.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump right in here. Alex, Sonic Superstars was your pick, correct?
Yeah. I haven't played the game. Because I haven't finished the last Sonic game, so I don't want to buy another one because why would I do that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Sonic fan. Have always been. and he's my pick because I heard great things about this game, and you could play
Fair.
it's multiple characters, and you could switch off, and I think this was also maybe co-op or multiplayer as
Hmm.
well. But
Yeah, great game.
Sonic's the go.
Yeah, great game. I thoroughly enjoyed Sonic Superstars. Pikmin 4, again, great game. Really liked it, but was not like the best family game. Party
Yeah.
Animals, same thing. Like, that's up here. Great family game. You know, that one you could have tons of fun with the family. I think that was my pick. Honestly, was Party Animals for this one as well.
Hmm.
Um, we also have Mario Wonder, which I am not going to put up there because we're obviously saving it. However, I would give it a B tier if I could. For family
Hmm.
games, I'd give it a B tier because it's Mario. It's like
Yeah,
Mario
yeah,
is like the staple of like family games.
yeah.
Now, there is another one up here called Disney Illusions Island. C
Okay.
tier. Disney cannot make a video game to save their life.
Listen,
They
man.
can't.
Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two went
No,
hard.
no. They cannot make a.
You didn't like that one?
No. Kingdom
I
Hearts
love that
was
one.
okay.
Okay. I mean, if you want to count that. Yeah, I think Disney has a potential to do something really cool. I just don't think they're making their mark. They have a lot of great characters. I think they should
Hmm.
branch off with, their IPs.
You know what I really liked
Haven't
when I
played
was
this
younger?
one.
I really liked Disney
What's up?
Universe.
I didn't play that one. I
Oh.
played Toontown, Obby.
Hmm.
Um, Epic Mickey games. I enjoyed. I enjoy puzzle games like that. Um, I can't recall anymore. I mean, just like
Hmm.
I don't even know. Like,
Yeah.
were there any like actual like Disney branded games rather than like just like Disney property games?
See, no, I don't
Yeah,
think
I
so.
haven't played Illusion Island. Did you?
I did. I did not think it was, in terms of a
What
family
was it?
game. It was more kind of like, what's that game called? The Cuphead.
Yeah, Cuphead.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
That's cool. But
Yeah, it
I don't
was.
think I enjoyed it either.
Yeah, I wasn't really, and again, family game, not really a family game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna go on to best fighting now. This one, I have a little bit of a kind of a bias, but Alex, I'm gonna get into your bias first. Why do you think Nickelodeon All Stars is an A?
Um, Shout out SpongeBob. Shout out Patrick. Shout out Danny Phantom. Shout out the boys. Shout out Nickelodeon. I don't play any other fighting games, and
Hmm.
if I could pick one of these for free, I'd pick Nickelodeon just for funsies.
Sure.
I'd love to, beat up SpongeBob as Timmy Turner or something. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Well, you said shout out the boys, so I want to go into my pick, and I'm gonna give this one an A. Um,
Oh,
Bro, Mortal Kombat 1. You can play as Homelander
nice.
and Omni Man. I'm
That was a
sorry.
good segue.
I'm a I'm a huge like The Boys, and Alex, you actually just finished The Boys, and I'm a
I
huge
thoroughly
Invincible
enjoyed.
fan. I love Invincible. And to play as Omni Man, and not only to play as him, but to have him voiced by J. Jonah Jameson himself,
J.K. Simmons, baby.
dude. I enjoyed the game, and I know our buddy Ethan again played it, and he said that it was a great game as well. So we have these other ones: God of Rock, C tier, Pocket
Haven't
Bravery.
seen it.
Didn't play Pocket Bravery at all.
I don't even know what
Street
that
Fighter
is.
6 is
Haven't heard
already
of
up
it.
here again in fighting games. I'm gonna give it a B. I feel like the fighting games were low key kind of good this
Okay.
year.
Hmm.
But none of them touched Mortal Kombat 1. None of them.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh God.
What?
Here's where all the nerds come in, bro.
Yeah, so best RPG. So Baldur's Gate obviously is probably gonna win. So
I don't know, bro. Liza P. starring Timothy Chalamet
yeah,
looks pretty good.
starring Timothy Chalamet. Wow. So Liza P is a Pinocchio based game. We'll go right into that one since you brought that one up. I'm gonna give this one kind of a C tier.
I don't
And
understand the concept.
I
Of it.
didn't really understand the concept because you know what came out that wasn't even nominated, that I was shocked wasn't nominated? Hogwarts. And I kind of got the same vibe, you know?
So I know why Hogwarts didn't.
Go on.
Because you could cast like a million spells in Elden Ring and only 18 in Hogwarts.
Sure, I understand that. I
I
think
played Hogwarts, didn't finish it because I got bored with it.
mhm. I think that Elden Ring, God, I think that Hogwarts suffered from what I call an early release window, where they release in like March, and then by the time these other games roll around, they're kind of forgotten. Unless it's
Yeah,
like Elden Ring. Like Elden Ring stuck around for months, and
yeah,
it was a great game. So I just feel like Hogwarts kind of suffered from that. So
I agree.
we also have another game that have never liked, which is the Final Fantasy. Yeah. Woohoo.
Another one?
Yeah,
This is a different one?
yeah, it's different one. There's like 3 Final Fantasies up for nomination, bro.
That many came out this year?
Uh-huh.
That's wild. How do they do that?
Well, this is my problem with Final Fantasy. You know how like you had a problem with Avatar re-releasing in theaters? Final Fantasy probably
Yes, of
makes like
course.
3
How
or
could I forget?
4 like remakes and remasters like every year. I don't
Oh,
like
so
it.
these are remasters. They're not
Yeah,
three new games.
there's
Oh,
like
okay, okay,
one
okay,
new game this year for Final Fantasy.
okay.
And that's why I've
That
never
makes a
liked
little bit
it.
more sense.
So, obviously, best RPG in terms of an RPG, it's got to be A tier. Like it is. It's a great
Yeah.
RPG, but I just don't think it should win, and it's not going to because we have 2 other RPGs up here that one of them was actually nominated supposedly for Game of the Year. And everyone thought it's going to be Game of the Year, it's going to be Game of the Year. Uh Bethesda actually released Starfield, and I have to give this as our first S tier.
Really?
I loved Starfield. I bought it, and I bought it on sale because I was unsure of it. But it's at its soul, it's still like a Bethesda game where you don't need like the combat and stuff like that. You need more talking and stuff.
Hmm.
But there are mods on mods on mods, and I don't like to bring that up when talking about a game, especially one that I rank so highly. But Bethesda is known for their mods. Like
Yeah.
people play the game and keep playing the game for like certain mods. So I have to give this one an S tier because I enjoyed it so much. And for all around games, Starfield was it. Starfield, in my opinion, was one of the ones that got snubbed from a Game of the Year nomination.
Yeah, I think it's a D tier. It's not available on PlayStation.
Okay. Okay.
So
Sure. That makes yeah. Yeah. All right, Alex.
it's not
We're
biased.
we're getting closer to your Game of the Year that you want to talk about. But we're gonna first talk
Yeah, we
about
are.
first best
Go
action
ahead.
and adventure. So, Star Wars Jedi. I'm gonna give this one a B tier. The only reason I'm not gonna give it an A or an S tier, and I typically would, bro, they had a terrible release. It's the ports. The ports for PC were not up to date. People were having problems running the game. People are still having problems running the game. Can you believe that? They cannot
Yeah,
run the
that's
game.
actually kind of wild. That's wild.
We're also gonna have Resident Evil 4, best action adventure. For me, in terms of action adventure, I'd probably give this A tier. Reluctantly, maybe a B tier, but reluctantly, I'm gonna give
All
it an
right.
A tier. There's just something
Okay.
missing from it, and I don't really want to put it up there. Now,
I know
this
it's
one,
missing from the fan base.
a shower.
Deodorant.
Yeah. So, um, Tears of the Kingdom. I have to give it an S tier in terms of action and adventure
Okay.
because it's a great adventure game. I don't like Nintendo, but it's a great adventure game. Alan Wake 2. Did you ever play Alan Wake?
No.
Um, I'd honestly give this one kind of a B tier, maybe honestly I'm gonna give it a C tier in terms of action
We
and
thought it was
adventure.
John Wick at the game.
Yeah, we thought it was John
PlayStation
Wick,
play,
so
would play.
we were a little disappointed. I knew who it was, but I thought they changed it to Keanu, and I was like, no way they did that. That's amazing, right? They didn't. It was a good game, but it wasn't a great game, and I don't feel like it should have got Game of the Year nomination. All right,
Hmm.
Alex, your last best action adventure nominee is Spider-Man 2. Yeah, this for me,
How do I feel about that?
this one should have won, and this one will win in best action adventure. Like I know that we're a little biased, but
Who's biased?
definitely you.
Anyway, Spider-Man 2 deserves this one. Not only because it's Spider-Man, I genuinely think the action and adventure in this game was fantastic. You got to explore
Mm-hmm.
how many different character narratives, play as many characters, and I mean, we'll get into it more, but obviously it's winning best action.
Yeah, I I think that if you want to hear more about it, just go watch our video on it. We give a really
Exactly.
really in-depth description of the game, the mechanics, everything.
Yes.
I
Yes.
I feel like just go watch that. But they do have a separate category that we're going to go into that is still best action game. So no adventure at all involved. It's just action. One of those is called
Okay.
Remnant 2. Um it was okay. C tier wasn't like I played it, but I didn't enjoy playing it again. C tier is my like I didn't enjoy playing it, but I played it just to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And then D tier is like I can't stand the game. Like I played it and I quit. And for me, if I quit a game, I can never touch that game again. Like I can't. I quit it for a reason. I don't care. I'll never play it. You know.
Yeah.
We also
Yeah, I never
have
played this one.
yeah. We also have
Only
Armored
one of these look
Core.
familiar.
Armored Core. For me, this is an A tier. I actually love Armored Core, and it's so
Is this
Armored.
the one that Henry Cavill plays?
No, so Henry Cavill plays Warhammer.
Warhammer. Okay.
Yeah, Armored Core
My bad.
a little bit like that, but not too much. Armored Core is a little more like what is like the tank game that used to play on like a mobile and you could play online where you get to customize and
War of
design.
Tanks.
Yeah, War of Tanks. I couldn't think of the name. It's a little more like that, but you're playing with like Gungams.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
it's cool, and I like the game a lot. Probably the best action game. We do also have Dead Island 2, which is something that was an interesting release, but I am gonna give it a C tier because I heard
Hmm.
about it. Everybody was excited for it, and Alex, I'm sure you heard about it. Once it came out, I never heard about it again.
You know what? This is one that I do kind of recognize out of the
Hmm.
group here. So yeah, I'll agree with you there.
It was one that people were excited for, and they never touched again, which is very weird. Now we have Hi-Fi Rush. Um,
This
for
is the one I had heard of.
Yes, so this is an A tier game for me. I love the game. I have played it multiple times and for hours. It's just
Hmm.
so much fun. It is an anime centered game and the art style
Hmm.
is something that I really can appreciate. In terms of action, I do have to go to like B or C. I'll give it to B. But it's action's good, storyline's better in my opinion. So that's kind of how I would do it. Maybe if it was in a different category, I could see it winning, but I don't see it winning.
Hmm.
Have you ever played Ghost Runner?
No,
Alex, go play Ghost
I'm
Runner.
not.
This is another S tier game for me. I love Ghost Runner.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
I love
What's this
Ghost
one
Runner.
about?
So Ghost Runner, what it kind of is kind of I want to say it's kind of like a Ghost of Tsushima meets Titanfall, where you're playing as this character and he can run on walls and he kills people stealthily, but he has a sword and he is so cool. Like we saw the trailer for it when we were watching the State of Play in the summer,
Okay.
and it's
Oh,
such
you know
a
what? I think I do remember
hmm
this.
it's a great game. I love it so much. Game design is great, sound design, everything. The only thing I would kind of do is the score, but whatever. I don't care about that. So, for the sake of moving on, and also gonna be honest with everybody, I did not play any, and I mean any VR games. None, absolutely none. Didn't play Synapse.
Okay.
Didn't play Resident Evil. The Village. I did not play Horizon. Now, I didn't play Gran Turismo on the VR either. However, I did play Humanity, not on the VR, and I did actually
Okay.
play. I am actually still playing Humanity, and I think I might have recommended that one to you, Alex. I don't know if I did.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No,
Gotta be honest.
I thought I did. I thought I recommended that one to you, but maybe I didn't. I guess I didn't, and whatever. It is what it is. So, um, but I am gonna rank this one as C tier because I'm enjoying it, but
Okay.
I'm having to force myself to play it.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. And VR games
I
just
didn't
didn't.
play any
I
VR
I just didn't play any
this year.
VR. I'm not interested.
I don't like have a
Yeah.
VR headset, and I mean like the ones I was going to,
Hmm.
they came out with the new one for PlayStation, and that one's like just stupid expensive, and I really don't think I'd use it all that often. It's definitely a cool experience, but just
Yeah.
not for me.
Yeah, and like the thing about VR and what I see a lot of people say is it's not something, like regular gaming. We can sit down and play Fortnite, Overwatch for 2 hours. I cannot sit there with a
Yeah.
VR headset on my head for 2 hours. I can't.
Yeah, no.
It's something you
Yeah,
come
yeah,
home,
yeah.
you play maybe twice a week for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, like the kids who play gorilla tag for hours, that's wild. Your eyes are like dead, bro.
Yeah.
The glasses you're about to wear at 15 years old, I could shoot you in the eye and you'll stop the bullet.
Oh
They're gonna be
my
so thick.
God.
You're gonna be blind, dog.
All right. Best mobile game. So we have to go with
Yes.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
So I'm a big mobile gamer. I don't know if you guys know that about me, but Crossy Road isn't on here. So else for all of them.
Oh yeah, that's that one. I'm
I actually
sure.
don't remember when the last time I've had a game on my phone or played a game on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
just
mean,
like genuinely just don't care about games on my phone.
I play Pokemon Go.
Okay, that's a little different.
But
That's more
yeah,
like
that's different.
lifestyle type of game.
Yes.
Like I'm not sitting here playing Crossy Road like well in the waiting room or something.
Yeah. So, Final Fantasy. There's a Final Fantasy mobile game. D tier. Don't
They
care.
thought of everything.
They sure did. Monster Hunter C tier. Didn't really play it that much, and it's okay, but it's I just don't find myself mobile gaming. You know.
Yeah, me either.
I did not play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I'm sorry. I did not. I know that is terrible of me, and I should have, but it is what it is. Terra Nil. So Terra Nil, Alex, what do you know about Terra Nil? Nothing. Absolutely.
Nothing.
So Terra Nil is actually a game you can play on Netflix.
Oh. Okay.
And
So it's just like a
mm-hmm.
like a decision making type game.
Yeah, kind of. It's more like a city builder kind of 2 simulation where you get to kind of design like an area and the wildlife live in there. So I enjoyed Terra Nil. I put it at B tier because I didn't find myself forcing myself to play, but I played it when I just had the urge to. So
Is
for
it
me,
still on Netflix?
yes, it is. Yes,
Okay.
it is still on Netflix. I don't know if I would urge you to play it, but you know, do with that what you will. So
I'm not gonna play it.
yeah, yeah, I understand. And then we're also gonna have Honkai Star Rail. Yeah, I didn't play that one either. Because you know what that reminded me of? Genshin Impact, and I'm never ever touching Genshin Impact. Never touching it.
Yeah, they're missing deodorant too. That fan base.
So we're going on to 2 categories that I'm gonna combine into one. So there's best debut indie game and best independent game. So most of them,
they have a lot of similar games in here.
most of them are the same except for Dave the Diver, Sea of Stars, Venba, and Pizza Tower.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna combine these. I don't like the fact that they're separated. It never has made sense to me, and it never will. So for best debut indie game, I went with Venba. So Venba for me was a little more heartfelt, and it's kind of a talking simulation game. I don't know if you ever played something like that, Alex, and it's a games for impact as well.
Okay.
So for me, this was a B tier. I never actually played it. And I know that's probably wrong of me for me to put it up here, but I watched playthrough. And I watched multiple playthroughs.
That works.
I feel like that counts, and I feel like that's still like I still got an experience of the game.
Exactly.
For Viewfinder, this one, an indie game, I gave it an A tier.
Okay.
If I could have, I would have given this a Game of the Year nomination.
Wow.
I loved the game. The reason I love this game, Alex, I'm sure you've seen clips of this online or something where you have to like line up this certain shot, and then when you do, then you walk through this area. Have you kind of seen something? Yeah. So that's what Viewfinder is. It's actually on PlayStation, PC, all platforms. Great game. I love it, and it took me probably a couple hours just to get through some stuff, right? Just because of how thorough they are. We're also gonna have Pizza Tower. Pizza Tower was more of a Mario style game where you're saving your pizza place and like you're building stuff. C tier, or a D tier. I think this one was a D tier for me. I think I picked it up once and I was just like I didn't like the game. Why am I playing this? I'll play Mario instead.
Okay.
So
I'll agree, but pizza sounds fire right now, doesn't it?
a little bit. I'll
I
give
haven't
you
had
that.
pizza in a minute.
Yeah. So Dredge is a game where you're playing as a ship captain and you're running a ship and you have to go around and do tasks. Didn't like it at all.
I, I, I
Didn't
like the
like it at all.
concept, but
Concept was, I'll give the concept. As an indie game, didn't like it at all. And
okay.
and I don't know if they'll win. So Sea of Stars was it was kind of a pixelated art style kind of game. And you kind of walked around with this girl here in the back and you just had this adventure.
Hmm.
It was an indie game, indie developer. And I have to give it a D tier. Again, I played it and I was like, this just isn't for me. And I think that suffers a lot because it's like, this isn't for me. Like I can't enjoy this game and I'm not the target audience. So I hate rating these indie games so low, but they're just not for me. So I can't rate them higher. And
That makes
I
sense.
feel bad about it, but I don't. So, oops.
No, I get that for sure. I mean, I haven't played half of these.
Yeah.
More than half of these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I mean,
yeah. Dave the Diver. I did not play Dave the Diver. That is, I think, the one
I
indie game where I did not play.
I haven't heard of it.
It's more like you're just going down and you're finding fish. It,
It's
it's
cool.
okay. It's an okay game. Cocoon. Cocoon is another A tier for me. Now,
You and
Cocoon.
John talked about
Oh,
this
we
one.
love Cocoon. Me and our buddy John love Cocoon. Now, Cocoon was a lot of fun to play. It was an indie developed game, obviously, but it was so heart wrenching a little bit in times where you had to go
Mm.
around and you're not necessarily breaking out of something, but there's that underlying tone of being free and just
Hmm.
doing basic tasks around the world. And it was a lot of fun. I loved it. Cocoon was fantastic. And the only reason I don't rate these an S tier is because they're indie developed games, so they're missing that like extra boost of
Yeah, like a little push.
yeah, that extra boost of
Yeah.
community and teamwork where it's
Yeah, yeah.
small team developed and I want to commend the indie games because it takes a lot to develop a game, especially alone. So
Oh
I
yeah.
any game that gets nominated is a win and you should be appreciated and love the fact that you at least got that.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on to a big thing in a game, which is community support. So we have No Man's
All right.
Sky. Alex, did you play No Man's Sky?
See, John had a little kick of it, and he
Mm-hmm.
explained it to me, and I really wanted to buy it, but I just couldn't. Like, it wasn't on sale or anything. I just couldn't get myself to buy it at full price. So, it definitely piqued my interest, but I have never played it.
Mm-hmm. No Man's Sky is one of the games that is widely regarded as the worst releases of all time.
Okay.
And there's actually another game on here that's is regarded as the worst release of all time in this same community
Yeah, I
support
recognize
category.
that.
Um, but No Man's Sky had a revival, and it's one of those games, terrible launch, community, they listened to the community, and now the community is behind them 100%. So I have to give it a B tier
It's
because
good.
I love the game. I do.
Good.
And community support, it's there. We also have another Final Fantasy game, and I have to give this one for community support a
Boo.
B tier. As community support, it's a B tier. If I could rank the game,
All right.
it's a
All right.
D.
All right.
But the Final Fantasy community is probably one of the most honest and I'm gonna say they're one of the most dishonest actually community supports. They
Really?
they're delusional in their game and they think that every Final Fantasy game is good, but they
Uh-huh.
support the developers so much with whatever they make. It is amazing how they just get behind them no matter what. Like I'm convinced the developers could delete the game. They'd be like, they did that for a reason. What are you talking about? Makes me go insane. Absolutely, makes me go insane.
I have no opinion.
Yeah.
Never
So
played it.
Alex, give me your opinion on Destiny.
So, didn't play Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wasn't a big fan of the first game. I think maybe I just didn't understand it fully, and I just like, didn't care to because I didn't was having fun. But I keep hearing this negative stuff about Destiny, where like or Destiny 2, where you keep having to buy these new passes and whatnot to like play levels and get equipment and stuff like that, and it just doesn't seem like it's worth it whatsoever.
Destiny
What
2
are you
for
about to
me
put
is
this?
a D
All
tier.
right.
Um, community support is probably one of the. This one I am very surprised they're in this category. Absolutely just terrible, brutal, 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 and I cannot believe they're in there. That's all I'm gonna say on them. We're gonna go on to two more. One of them I'm not gonna put up
All
there,
right.
which is Baldur's Gate.
Uh-huh.
Cyberpunk. In terms of community support, I gotta give him an A or an S tier. I'm bouncing back and forth.
You know what? I'm gonna go S for me
In terms of
because
community support or just all around.
community support.
Okay.
Because I mean, even when this game came out, Ethan and John were super excited for it. I remember.
I pre-ordered the game too.
Uh, yeah, right. They were super excited, and I, you know, don't play a lot of these games. I don't know why. Just none of them really pique my interest as much.
Mm-hmm.
But like this one, I was like, okay, that's really cool. Like this is a cool idea. I get it. And then when it launched, I heard bad things, but it's like, oh, they're gonna fix it. It'll be okay. They know. So like I think from what I've seen about like other communities, this one has been relatively positive, even though their start was like
Mm-hmm.
considered one of the worst.
Yeah. And I have to agree. And also, the community kind of forced them to release the game early. They were very
Yeah.
frustrated as to why the game kept getting delayed. And they were like, can you just release the game, please? And, Project Red came out and said, if we release this game, it is not done. And it is not going to run on PS4 or Xbox One. It will run on PS5. It will run on Xbox One Series X. Barely.
Hmm.
And they were honest and they said that and they released the game because people were getting very frustrated and then people said they hated the game. Cyberpunk
Yeah.
2077 changed the course of gaming forever and I will die on that hill. And I would love to do a video purely on how it changed it. But
I mean, I think you should. I think that's
yeah, I would love to. God, that would be such an interesting video.
yeah, for
Um
sure.
we're also getting into Baldur's Gate again for community support. I'll be honest.
Listen, man, I didn't even hear of
I
this game.
I never really thought that like the
How do you know a
community.
developer
Yeah.
makes this?
hmm So I never
I,
really
I never
thought
heard anything.
that the community was all there. Like the community is supporting them, but in terms of like what else is on there, I
Yeah, yeah.
don't feel like they'll win this one. I feel like it's
For sure
going
not.
to be
I think it's
Cyberpunk.
going to Cyberpunk.
I think
for
it's
sure.
going to Cyberpunk. So for the next category,
Especially after, sorry,
no, go ahead.
when what is that, a DLC or a
Yeah,
new?
it's DLC. It was the 2.0 update, so they revamped the whole game, released more
Yeah.
DLC content. Yeah.
I keep seeing like clips of that and like screenshots of that, and it looks phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It looks great on the PlayStation 5. It makes me want to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They completely revamped the game. So going on to games that continue to get revamped but continue to thrive, which means best ongoing. There's two games which I want to talk about, even though there's a lot on there. Obviously, we have Final Fantasy on there. We also have Genshin Impact. Please take a shower if you. I have to
you
put.
think these are gonna win?
Yeah, I have to put
Come on.
Genshin Impact at D. I played it for the sake of saying that I played it, and I never picked it up again.
Okay.
I also have to put
We
Apex.
all know what's winning.
I have to put Apex at C tier. The game is so complicated, and I am never gonna play it again. I forced myself to
agree.
play it, but I'm never gonna play it again. The game is so complicated. We already have Cyberpunk up there, and I think it might have a chance. However,
Okay.
there's one game up there that is like
Stands above the rest.
yes, and
There will never be another Fortnite.
no Fortnite it's Fortnite.
Fortnite's done.
Yeah.
It's
Even
set
people
in stone.
people are even saying now like this is the worst season ever. They ruined the game. It's like, but you know how they know that because they keep playing it, and that's the thing.
And you know what?
They're
gonna keep playing it until the next.
You know what? We hear this almost every season.
Yeah.
Fortnite's done.
And they
They're
fix
done,
stuff.
and they fix stuff. And God, Fortnite for me in terms of best ongoing S tier, in terms of all around game, I gotta give it an A tier.
A.
Yes.
Put it in S right now.
I have to give it
Matt.
an I have to give it an A
Matt.
tier. S
Matt,
tier.
I know you love
I love Fortnite.
grittying as Omni-Man, right?
I love it, but for me, the S
That's an
tier.
experience you can only get on Fortnite.
I understand, but an S tier game is something that sets the game apart from the rest. And the 3 games that I have up there now have set themselves apart from the rest. So,
Right.
Fortnite, while it may have set themselves apart from the rest, it's just there's still this underlying tone of people refusing to play it, and I don't feel like I could put it in S tier because these people say they will never play it.
Okay.
So games for impact, Alex, you probably didn't play any games for impact. You're not really that type of person, are you?
I've never heard of any of these on this list.
So Goodbye, Volcano High, D tier. It's a anime game where you are in high school and you're like a horse girl with wings. Didn't I played it because I felt like I had to, and after that I just said never touching this game again.
All right. Yeah, that's rude.
Space for the Unbound,
Okay.
C tier. I had to force myself to play it. It was mid, very very mid. I have one up there, Venba. This game is a very impactful game, and I really really enjoy it purely because I talked about earlier about how like the game plays and everything like that. We also have Terra Nil back up there. It's not really a game for impact, so I'd have to give it like a C tier for a game for impact, but as a game I like it. So we have Chance of Sinar. So Chance of Sinar is you're walking around and you're looking for new languages. That's like it. And you have to go and find these old languages and stuff like that about people who were doing this and people who were doing that. Again, C tier, forced myself to play it. And then we have Tchia. I did not play Tchia. So
Okay.
I cannot give my opinion on that one.
Chia.
Yeah, wasn't really interested. Innovation and accessibility. We have talked about a lot of these games. There's one game that sets themselves apart, and I think Alex can agree. It's Spider-Man.
Yes.
They introduced so much.
So, getting serious right now, stopping all the jokes. I don't see anything on this list that just like I don't see anything that's like just compares.
Yeah.
All the new mechanics, all the new accessibility options. Like, dude, you could change color of the enemy because you're colorblind if you want.
Yeah.
Like if you're colorblind to this color and you see this color instead of this color, you can change that on an enemy, extreme bosses, your spider sense, and other accessibilities like the you like when you press right on the D-pad, you could do a multitude of things. You could open photo mode. You could open the camera. You could do a super jump. You could do like your rage if you have the symbiote suit, or your explosion if you have Miles on. You know, there's just so much to do and so much accessibility that you can have in Spider-Man 2, and I don't see anything on this list that compares whatsoever.
Yeah. So for me, the one thing that I actually discovered yesterday, you can change the color of your Spidey sense. Did you know that?
Yes.
I had no idea
not
until
till
like
I sent you that
yeah,
this morning.
I had no idea. That is crazy. So innovation and accessibility, that game sets itself apart. Alex, I did not put up here the people.
Yeah, we can still talk about it.
I want to talk about it because there's two to three people up there that I feel like could have a chance. First off, we're going to talk about the one that I think has the least amount of chance, which is Cameron Mahagonen. Cal Kestis from Star Wars. Game just suffered a bad release, but I think that he still is top 3 in terms of his performance given. Next one, Idris Elba. Idris Elba absolutely changed Cyberpunk for the better. He was a big factor in changing and how much gameplay they actually got.
That's cool.
But our number 1 is Yuri Lowenthal. He went absolutely nuts with that black symbiote. His voice lines, he will win. There's so much that we talked about this too, I think.
Like if Spider-Man wins any category, I think it's going to be best performance. It's going to win a lot, very fortunately for us. But this one is like, yeah, Yuri's gonna
Mm-hmm.
win.
Yeah,
He put everything into this performance.
he
His
did.
Black Suit Spider-Man was fantastic. I'm literally craving more. Like there's
Yeah,
so much, and
yeah.
I still think there's too little, right? And I mean, we all know how much I love the Black Suit Spider-Man storyline, so I mean, I'm being a little bit more biased with that. But he did fantastic. You know, as someone who's read thousands of Spider-Man comics, including Black Suit stories, he nailed it out of
Mm-hmm.
the park.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Not much else to say on that. I mean, good job to everyone else who got nominated, but you're fighting for second place.
Yeah, you really are.
Best audio design. I picked Dead Space for this. In terms of audio
So I'm picking
design,
Spider-Man because
yeah, yeah, I know. Dead Space, a game I did have to force myself to play, definitely a C tier,
uh-huh.
but audio design was next generation. And if you've ever played any of the Isaac games, the Dead Space games,
hmm
their audio design is always amazing. I don't know who's behind that, but it's just fantastic.
I heard great things about Dead Space, so
Hmm.
I'll agree with you there.
Yeah. So best score and music. Unfortunately, I really don't know if I have an opinion on who I think will win because I feel like there really isn't one that like how do you judge that? You know, like I always find myself tough to judge that because everyone listens to music differently and everyone plays
hmm
games differently. So different people are going to
I
think
mean,
that different
also
music fits in a spot, you know?
when it comes to these musics, like the nominees,
Mhm.
they are all very different vibes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like Hi-Fi Rush is like more upbeat, anime, fast. Mario Wonder's got that classic Mario charm. Alan Wake's got to be more suspenseful and more like, dark. Final Fantasy is very like mystical, and then Tears of the Kingdom's also like very like mystical and just like magical. Like they're so like different in
Yeah.
terms of genre. I don't think you could really pick here.
So my pick, if I had to pick, would be Hi-Fi Rush, just because I like that upbeat and I feel like it fits that universe
Yeah,
the best.
yeah, for sure. I probably pick Mario because I like the Mario music,
That's fair. I,
but I
I
haven't
get it. You
even
know,
played
like
it.
I get it. That's the thing. Like any one of those. So we're going into best art direction. I'm gonna pick Hi-Fi Rush again because the art style in that has always appealed to me in a way that I just like anime, so it's always like kind of appealed to me, and it's one of the driving
Mhm.
factors as to why I even played the game.
I'm gonna pick Mario Wonder again.
Yeah, I I
No,
get
I
it.
love the way Mario Wonder looked. Like I mean, I haven't played any of these, so you can't take my opinion like seriously. But I love this.
Hmm.
That was one of the things that really made me want to play the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I completely understand that too. Like anyone, again, like art direction, it's so hard to judge that because they're all different.
Uh huh.
So best narrative, Spider-Man 2. I
Spider Man too.
I it's hard for me not to
Spider
pick
Man too.
Baldur's Gate 3 because I did enjoy the narrative of that story. But
Uh huh.
Spider-Man 2, they completely changed how the story went and they said they made their own story for it. They
Yeah.
didn't follow really any comic runs, they had some similarities and obviously they pulled some source material, but they made their own story.
Yeah.
And it's easier to make your own story when you have some like source to pull from. So I can understand why people might say no, but
Yeah,
uh,
but I mean,
the emotional aspect of all the Spider-Man games is
yeah. I
next
mean,
gen.
it's not even just that. It's the way they told the stories in the past, how they weave together into
Hmm.
this game. How it's going to affect the future that we know we will be seeing. I mean, it's not just about the source material and what it's pulled from. It's how you adapt that to a modern form of media, and especially a video game, which is like you have to be so immersed. Like in the Craven's Last Hunt comic, like that fight with Craven and Spider-Man where Craven kills Spider-Man, it's not as immersive and more powerful as Peter's death in Spider-Man 2. Spoilers,
Hmm.
you know, and the symbiote saves him. It's a lot more dull. It's a lot more dark. You get to really immerse yourself in it. You can feel the heartbeat in your controller. If Peter like just like dying,
Yeah.
right? You could feel the power of the web swinging and just like the pool of everything. It's fantastic.
Hmm. So I am gonna rank the last Final Fantasy game, and the reason I'm gonna put it in C. This is the only one I'm gonna put in C
Okay.
because the narrative is really good and they build off. They continue to build off stories, but it's still a Final Fantasy game, and
Yeah.
I'll never enjoy it. Going into best game direction, this one's very interesting because the games have different directions and different points they try to hit, and it's something that you almost have to wonder. It's like, what was their point? Why did they want to do
Uh-huh.
it? What story were they trying to tell? And Tears of the Kingdom for me, the in terms of game direction, is this one's probably bottom of the barrel because they reused the
Really?
map. They didn't add anything
Oh,
else.
really?
They reused the whole map. They just added some new stuff. And to
Okay.
me, that's not a very good game direction.
No, no.
You did not create anything new. You didn't, like try and revamp anything. Now, Spider-Man 2 may have used the same map. However, they added more
They
traversal.
expanded on
They
it.
expanded the map. There was more to do in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if I'd pick Spider-Man 2. I might honestly pick Baldur's Gate 3 because we're
You're a
getting
traitor.
because we're getting closer to that, like what's like the second best game, like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like game of the year,
No,
like
I
the
get it.
number 1 game direction number 2, and then best narrative number 3. That's how
Okay.
I would think of those. So,
Okay.
and obviously, like there's certain games in there you can win all 3. Like Spider-Man could sweep all 3 of those. Baldur's Gate could sweep all 3 of
It
those.
will.
Do I
No, it
think
won't.
any of that will happen? Absolutely not. But I do have kind of a leaning against Spider-Man 2 because I feel like Baldur's Gate is going to win something, and I feel like it could be that.
Hmm.
Any opinions on game direction before we go to the big one?
No, just bias.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna put my 2
Not
cents in
surprised.
there. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Game of the year.
Spider-Man 2.
I'm going to say Spider-Man 2. I enjoyed the game. I feel like there is so
Wow.
much that goes into game of the year, and it's not just
Yeah.
like what game was the best. There's so
Yeah.
much that goes into what game was like, who had the most hype, who sold the most copies, who, like, I'm sorry, I didn't see anybody crashing the PlayStation Direct website for Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
We were literally crashing the PlayStation Direct website for the collector's edition of Spider-Man. They crashed it and sold out of the PS5 Sony plates for the PS, like
Yeah.
the Spider-Man plates, and you still can't find them. They're never coming back.
Nope.
And
Sold out in like less than an hour.
you can argue that it's a Spider-Man thing and not a game thing, but it's still a game, and like you have to
Yeah.
enjoy the game
not
to
even-
do it.
If you're in the know, you know that the Insomniac Spider-Man stories, in my opinion, are better than anything we've been seeing in like the movies or shows or anything. Spider-Man, the Insomniac Spider-Man universe has been the best Spider-Man media since the first game.
Yeah.
Has come out.
Absolutely.
So it's not just a Spider-Man thing; it's the best Spider-Man thing out.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree, and I'm reluctant to agree because I like the Spider-Verse movies, but I
Those
agree
are fantastic.
that the Yuri Lowenthal and the performance that Insomniac gives and just the all-around feel of the game feels more like a Spider-Man game than we've ever seen. And
You really feel immersed in these games.
yes. 100%.
They make it so easy to be so comfortable playing. And they do a fantastic job. Insomniac, I mean, like before I got into like real gaming stuff like this, like I didn't really know who made the games and whatnot. But like when it comes to Insomniac and I see their past gameography, I mean they have some heavy hitters.
Mhm.
They have like Spyro, Ratchet and Clank. Like for them to be making the Spider-Man game and becoming one of the greatest superhero series now we can call it, right? Are we done, Arkham fans? Are we done? Can we please move on? I'm sorry you're not getting another game
Mhm.
since like 2030, but I think it's a fantastic series overall. Like it's the best comic book stuff out right now.
Absolutely.
Like if you want to be immersed in something superhero related, play the Spider-Man 2.
So, I did a thing while you were talking. I put all the Game of the Year awards on S tier, and I want to kind of give a reasoning for that. Even though I don't like Nintendo, and Nintendo has 2 games up there, these games that are nominated deserve to be up there, even if I don't
Oh yeah.
necessarily agree with the fact that one of them may win, but they deserve to be up there because they set themselves apart throughout the whole year, throughout development. It took years for these games, and they deserve to be up there. And so for me, all these games are S tier. I played them all. I liked them. I played them
Yeah.
all through all the way because I make it a point that any game of the year nomination I will play through all the way because
Okay.
that's just who I am. And then whatever win game of the year, I will play it till for even more. Like I make it a
Hmm.
point because I love video games that much. But if Spider-Man 2 doesn't win, which more than likely, Alex, I know I want it to win. I know you want it to win. I don't think it will. I think it will be Baldur's Gate because people did enjoy that. Um, I I don't know. Like I think it's gonna be Baldur's Gate, but I think Spider-Man deserves it more because I think the community had its back a lot more. And
Like
every
that's something we didn't even touch on in our
yeah,
review is the
mm-hmm,
community of
yeah,
Insomniac. Like, bro, whew, the push for that game was insane, and it met the expectations of the fans. Everybody was so pleased, and like the glitches that we were having like some serious glitches,
sure,
right?
absolutely. I
But
saw one. Yeah, I saw one glitch where
we were all
Miles got
laughing over
stuck
it.
inside of a house, but you know what? It didn't.
Yeah,
When you think of
it didn't
glitches,
affect anybody's like
that's
playthrough. I
yeah,
I, I laughed about it and I restarted the game and it was fine,
yeah,
right?
like
Glitches happen,
yeah,
and I don't think that should affect the game of the year like position for them. But I mean, like I'm trying not to be biased because I haven't played any other games, but they pushed so hard the
mm-hmm,
community for this
yeah.
game. Whether it be pre-orders were outstanding. Probably one of the biggest pre-orders, right? Wasn't it one of them?
I think it was the biggest pre-order.
That's wild. The collector's editions everybody was buying, the memes coming out of this, the just anticipation for this game. Insomniac Spider-Man being in Across the Spider-Verse, and then the Easter egg of him or Genki actually playing Spider-Man 2 in the movie. Like the community did so much for this game, and it succeeded in the end.
Mm-hmm. And you touched on glitches, which I kind of want to bring up. The glitches for Cyberpunk when Cyberpunk first came out were game breaking. You could not play the game. They were
Yeah.
they were terrible. You couldn't do anything with it. They were you were glitching through the wall. You had people accidentally killing you because their car would be driving through a wall in the middle of downtown. And with Spider-Man, the glitches were we turned him into a cube. Like
Yeah, yeah.
the other glitch is like Miles doesn't have a suit; he's just a floating head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like I think there's another glitch where sometimes like you go to an area and it says there's a crime and there's not actually a crime there. You get there and the crime's
Yeah.
gone. Those
Yeah.
necessarily aren't game breaking. Like you just okay, I move on, restart the game, and that's it.
Yeah, they will like just de-render after you
Yeah,
cross
absolutely.
a certain amount of
You
meters.
restart the game, it's over. But with like
Yeah.
when I kept restarting Cyberpunk and it crashed every single time, I was like, this I can't play it.
Mhm.
So I feel like the glitches that it had, it was fine, but I feel like because it had glitches, it won't win, which is such an unfortunate thing.
Yeah. I'm like all jokes aside, all biases aside. I mean, I would love and would be so excited if Spider-Man 2 won. I do think it deserves at least a top 3 slot for sure. Um, I did see a lot of push for Baldur's Gate 3, and I mean, even though I called you sweaty, gross nerds earlier, I would respect that as a win. I wouldn't respect Tears of the Kingdom and Mario Wonder because of the exclusivity to
Yeah, and
Nintendo.
I
I
think
mean,
I've touched
you
on that
could
a
you could
lot
make the
a lot.
same argument about Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's eventually gonna come on PC like the other games did, so you can't really call it that much of an exclusive. Um, and then Alan Wake 2, I think is kind of an underdog. Like it was kind of flew under the radar for me. I definitely seen like some anticipation for it and like people liking the game, but game of the year it just didn't strike me. And then Resident Evil 4, I didn't even know a Resident Evil game came out this year, so
That's actually funny.
yeah. So
Yeah. So I think this is the final tier list that I have, with some input from Alex. I think the only one that I'm a little unsure about is Fortnite. I understand I want to put it in an S tier, but there's just that little part of me that's like it's not quite there.
It's not quite there.
There's just that little part of me that's just like it's not there. I don't know what it is.
Me and you can recreate Spider-Man in Invincible in Fortnite.
I know.
While we gritty.
It's just not there for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Okay.
But I think this is gonna I think this is gonna do it for this episode. Alex, thank you so much for helping out. I really appreciate it. And I'm very glad that I got your input.
I had.
Yeah, I'm very glad I did get the little input that you could provide. It's always nice to see that. But thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. First ever guest I had. First ever guest. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening on this. Please go check out our YouTube special crossover for Spider-Man 2, where we deep dive into the game. We deep dive into the game.
Yeah, deep dive into it.
Please go check out all our other podcasts. We got Heart to Heart that's releasing weekly, and they just combined with another podcast we have called Just Life. Please go check out the Show on Spotify. Andrew and Gabe make some great content, and I love what they do. I listen to it probably every week. So please go check all those out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.